Oh, top tip. Never discuss your creative endeavours with the kind of people that think everything has got to have money bags attached to it, or it has to have some kind of mainstream recognition in order to be considered as being valid. It's like explaining long multiplication to a fucking frog in the hope that it's going to pass a maths test. It isn't. It's just going to be sat there like ribbit, 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 3 times 8, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Okay, right, this is an easy one now. Okay, you're bound to get this. It's easy. 1 times 2, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Fuck it, you're a beer mat now. You know what I mean? You know the kind of people that I'm talking about. They got no concept of anything beyond what's fed to them. You know, it's about what's popular instead of what's actually good. You know, which sounds a bit pompous and a little bit like sour grapes. It isn't. Ever since I moved this vlog from Facebook to YouTube after all the shit I was getting, you know, I'm surprised that I even had 10 subscribers, let alone over 100. And I'm really grateful. And as long as there's a handful of people that are willing to listen, I'm going to keep on doing it. Okay, I'm fully aware of how amateurish this channel is, and I'm trying to learn more about the technology to make it more presentable. Alright, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. You know, fun. Do you remember that, any of you? You know, the kind of fun where you don't have to fork out on booze or drugs to help you feel like you're having fun. I mean, the kind of fun you used to have when you were a little kid playing soldiers or hide and seek. That's the same kind of feeling I get sometimes when I'm doing these vlogs. Okay? But even now, after over a year of doing them, there's still some people, friends and family even, who, when I tell them about it, they're like, oh, vlogs? Well, what are you doing a vlog for? Nobody cares. You know, who's going to want to hear anything you say? Nobody cares. Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? There's millions of people doing it now. It's not out of the ordinary. It's one of the perks of living at a time when technology has afforded us the ability to express ourselves and also be able to have an instant audience that might actually be able to relate, forming a connection with like-minded people. Okay, hello. You know, we communication has come a hell of a long way since people were drawing in fucking caves. Didn't anybody tell you, you divvy bastards? I'm just giving it a try. It's something for me to do, that's all. I need an outlet to keep me occupied while I try and stay away from all the bad stuff, okay? Drink, drugs, cigarettes, bad people, crime, and all the horrible negative shit that comes with it. You know, if I fall off the wagon again, it's going to fucking kill me. Alright? It's going to kill me. Oh, yeah. Here he goes, talking about his problems with drugs again. Change the record, Kev. Give it a rest. You know, nobody cares about your problems. Everybody got problems, not just you. What are you talking about your problems again for, huh? Why not? If I was a celebrity or a footballer or a pop star or something, you'd probably be praising me for my openness and my courage and be patting me on my back for, you know, my bravery in being so honest about my life. Can I not have a go at something? Especially now that I've had a stroke. I mean, you know, I know I keep on going on about it. I'm not asking for your fucking sympathy. You know, just as I keep on saying, okay, I need something to take my mind off things, as I'd rather not give in to the same temptations that led me to have a stroke in the first place. Alright, and seeing that I can't physically do as much as I'd like to do until I've recovered fully from the stroke and start earning good money again, well, not good money, but earning money again, you know, I thought I'd put my efforts into being creative instead of being self-destructive in an attempt to cope with what's proving to be a very difficult, frustrating and rather frightening period of my life, which I never fucking saw coming. Okay? I was on my way to being rather buff before my brain decided to take a shit inside my head. I was 2 years sober, finally stopped smoking, on the verge of getting a new job, a kind of job which I would really like. Okay? After being made redundant for the fourth time in my life. I'm a relatively young man to have suffered a stroke, as the doctors and the consultants keep on saying. So I'm doing all that I can to stay healthy, both physically and mentally, which this helps with. Okay? Does this compute, you fucking ignorant cunts? Can you not see the logic in, to what I'm doing? Or are you purposely trying to just piss on my chips and hurt my feelings? Okay, because that's what it's actually starting to feel like to me. I mean, when people talk to me about what they're doing, their plans, etc., I like to, at the very least, offer a few words of encouragement. I'm like, oh, nice, well done. Yeah, it's good to see you being productive with your time. I'm glad to see that you're enjoying it. Nice one, Kev. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, offer a bit of positive energy. However, it's got to the point now, okay, even before the stroke, okay, whenever I talk about whatever it is that I'm doing, apart from a small core group of friends that get it, that understand, okay, whenever I talk about these things, it's always met with a wall of negativity. Straight away, whenever I mention it, or whenever I mention anything that I want to do, or that I'm thinking about doing. So, oh, you're full of shit, you are, Kev. Yeah, you're always saying you're doing something, but nothing ever comes of it. You said you were writing a book last year. Yeah, I have done. Okay, it's in for editing. And the publisher said it's going to take a long time because it's a small independent press. Okay, there's no smoke and mirrors. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not lying. I wrote an essay and a few poems during the pandemic. Somebody I know who has also had books published, she thought it was good and asked me to send more stuff to her that I had written, and she's offered to publish it as a book of poetry and prose when she has the time and the funds. I know it all sounds a little bit wanky and a bit woo-woo, but it's something that I'm deeply proud of. And I'm sharing my good news with you because you're my friend or family. Okay, you can read it if you should so wish. I'd be happy to share it with you, and you could be one of the first people to read it. Yeah, because then when you do stoop so low as to offer 100% solid fucking proof and evidence of the exact fucking thing that they're claiming you're either not capable of or you're lying about. They're like, well, I don't want to read it. I don't want to read anything you've written. What would I want to read it for? You're like, okay, well, yeah, I'm confused now because you're my friend, and I thought you might be pleased that I've created something that I'm proud of, and that I'm willing to let you be one of the very first people that reads it. And no, okay, well, I tell you what, from now on in, okay, please, in the future, refrain from offering any fucking opinion on anything that I do, you fucking miserable cunts. Okay, do you think I'm too stupid to notice when someone is purposely trying to put me down? And because of my low self-esteem, and you can see that I'm in need of some sort of approval, instead of simply just offering a little bit of encouragement, a few words of encouragement, you just want to fuck with me instead, and hurt my feelings for some reason. Probably because you're unhappy with yourself, let's be honest. I mean, if you dislike me that much, then why spend any more time with somebody you don't respect? I mean, how fucking sad are you? If you don't like me, don't bother contacting me or spending any more time with me. Or, am I, is it because you haven't got many other friends that like you? So Muggins here has to take the brunt of all your fucking bitterness. And when you do stand up for yourself and you've had enough of their attitude, and you finally do call them out on it, and you're like, then they're like, oh no, Kev, no, you're just being paranoid, you're too sensitive, I'm only joking. That's your problem, Kev, you're paranoid. No, I'm not. Okay, I used to be, okay, but now, apart from the stroke damage, I'm pretty fucking switched on. Alright, when it comes to how people are treating me. And I'm not willing to just put up with it anymore and block it out. Sorry. Man, I've been putting up and dealing with those kind of personality types before I even reached double digits in age. Okay, and I always thought it was my fault. I always thought it was me, that I was the fucking problem. Constantly walking around with this fucking black cloud over my head, feeling like a bit of shit on everybody's shoe, letting everybody get away with being disrespectful, taking a piss behind my back, like it's my fucking lot in life. Fuck that, no more, okay? I gotta stand up for myself properly. In order for me to continue to be part of this fucking shit show of a society, I have to draw a line in the sand. If you want to be negative and piss on my chips just for the sake of it, because you're unhappy with yourself and your own life, get the fuck out of my face, okay? Fuck off. Why the fuck should I feel embarrassed about having a go at doing something creative? I'm passing time, that's all. I'm not expecting anything to come from it beyond a regular hobby that allows me to vent my frustrations. It's not like I'm going around telling people that I'm entering a beauty pageant and expecting to win. Am I pretty? Am I pretty? Have I got what it takes to be in a competition and come first? Am I pretty? Yeah, my mother said I could be a winner. Am I pretty? Yeah, am I pretty? I'm sick of people's negativity. I've had it up to here, man. So you want to be an author, is it, Kev? Typical Kev. Always saying he's going to be something. Yeah, okay, I would never, ever, in a billion years, be so bold as to consider myself as being an author. I'm no author, far from it. Right, but I don't think any writer wakes up in the morning and goes, after I've had a shower and my tea toast and preserves, I might very well write a bestseller. After all, that's the only reason I started writing in the first place, is to make money and become famous. Otherwise, what would be the point? What would be the point? No. I mean, forgive me for fighting my corner and defending myself right now, okay? But can someone not just simply write a book because they enjoy the act of writing itself, without worrying about irrelevant, dumb, corporate-minded shit like being famous or having a fucking bestseller? Is it really that too much to comprehend? Can I not fill my time doing things that bring me joy, or do we all have to be sat in a fucking pub again for the 100 millionth fucking time talking about football scores and politics again, you boring cunts? You know, pretending to be happy and judging anyone who doesn't fall in line with what you think they should or should not be doing with their life, you fucking boring cunts. Well, what are you writing a book for, Kev? Well, you think you're going to be a famous author? Is in write a bestseller? Is out? Man, you know that's like somebody coming up to me and giving, oh, I'm going swimming tomorrow, Kev, and then me going, what, swimming? What do you want to go swimming for? Well, you think you're going to be a professional athlete and win a gold medal at the Olympics, is it? Is that what it is? Yeah, you want to become a celebrity sports person making money from sponsorship deals with Speedo. Is that what it is? You want to become a famous swimmer like Duncan Goodhue and do the butterfly stroke with Tim Daly? Yeah, listen to him going swimming. Man, you got ideas above your station. That's your problem. Swimming. Yeah, you sound like my fucking dad. You know, everybody's so fucking bitter, and I'm done with putting up with it. Okay, well, last year when I was in hospital, I'm laying in the bed with the curtains drawn around the bed. Okay, it's early hours of the morning, and I'm trying to compose a blanket text to send to all my close friends, because I was kind of worried in case I popped my clogs. Okay, and you know, I'm there and I'm listening. There's this elderly lady across the way calling out. She's like, nurse, nurse, yes, I need to do a shit. I need to do a shit. This is my new nightie. I haven't got another nightie. This is my new one, and I need to do a shit. This is my new nightie. You know, and she's clicking the button, you know, hoping to get some attention. I need to do a shit. This is my new nightie. I'm shitting everywhere. Nurse. And you know, I'm with it. Oh, here we go. 2 seconds. Oh, yeah, but that night, okay, that night I was laying there, and I promised myself that I am done with wasting my time and energy with other people's negativity. And from now on in, I'm going to start calling it out. Okay, I'm going to start calling people out on it, and start being real, really real. Not in a nasty way. Okay, I'm not going to be one of these people that goes around criticising and pointing out other people's discrepancies and shortcomings and hurting people by pointing out their personal appearance. Okay, you know, I'm not going to be rude to people under the guise of, oh, I'm just being honest. That's all. I just says it like it is. Okay, and make my whole personality about being honest. We all know one. Yeah, I just says it like it is, I does. Yeah, that's why nobody likes me, okay? That's why nobody likes me at work, because I'm blunt. Yeah, I'm just being honest and I'm speaking the truth, that's all, because I'm a very truthful person, I am. That's what it is. I don't lie like everybody else. I'm just being honest. Fuck off. No, you're not. You lie just as much as me and everybody else, okay? You know, if not more. And the fact that you always seem to feel the need to tell everyone you don't lie and that you're honest says to me that you're very probably more full of shit than most people that you say are full of shit. So stop it with the holier than thou, I don't lie bollocks, okay? Because it don't wash. You know, I've lied a lot in the past, okay? Not to deceive, okay? But usually because the truth is too embarrassing to share, or I don't want people to know how vulnerable I am, or I'm covering up something that I'm very self-conscious about and would rather not let others know, because it's something I'm struggling to deal with, okay? Not because I'm a liar, right, or because I'm a bad person, or I can't be trusted, but because as far back as I can remember, okay, whenever I have tried to be honest about something, alright, when especially something I'm struggling with, or I'm deeply embarrassed about, that's brought me shame and is troubling me, or something that I am simply not comfortable sharing, especially when I'm being put on the spot and interrogated. You know, people have always responded whenever I've wanted to tell them the truth. They've always responded with a snigger and a snore, and have mocked me for it. Okay, or they just don't believe what I say anyway. Okay, not because I'm not telling the truth, but you know, they just want to be cruel because they get a kick out seeing someone vulnerable. Okay? Sometimes people, you know, you can't trust people with the truth. Okay? Sometimes people lie to protect themselves and protect their feelings. Do you understand? Okay, am I getting through to you on a human level right now? Okay, you know, you fucking moon pilot. Man, I need a little bit more reassurance than, it's okay, you can tell me anything, I'm your friend. You know, all that spit and shake on it bullshit don't work in my experience. You know, it's pretty difficult trusting people when you discover that something you shared with a close friend, something that you've been struggling with, that has had a massive negative effect and impacted on the majority of your adult life, has been reduced to a conversation that was overheard in a fucking pub by somebody else that you know. Okay, I rest my fucking case. I'd be honest if I knew I wasn't going to get mocked or laughed at or told to get on with it. Okay, fucking man. Seriously, there's some people in my life, okay, that I would have laid down in the road and fucking died for. You know, for example, if me and a certain friend was in a house and there was you know, like in Jurassic Park, there was a pack of velociraptors trying to get through the back door, and in order to escape, we'd have to go out through the front door to get to the car to drive away. But there was a big fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex just stomping round looking for something to eat for his tea, and the only way my friend could get to the car is if I distracted the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, I'd do it. Honestly, I'd do it. I'd be like, look, hey, don't worry about me. Okay, don't worry. Just, you know, I'm going to be dead within a few seconds, I'm sure. Okay, and I won't feel a thing. All I ask is that you speak fondly of me. Okay, now just give me a hug. Okay, right? You got the keys ready? Yeah. Right. 1, 2, 3, go. Then I look up at the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm like, oh, come on, you big ugly fucking lizard. You want some of this? Come on, you fucking. Yeah, then while my friend gets in the car, I'm being thrown around the Tyrannosaurus Rex's mouth like a pair of Y-fronts in a fucking washing machine. You know, bashing around its tongue. Oh, it's just getting cut on its teeth. My bones crunching as I'm getting folded over like a piece of Wrigley's spearmint chewing gum. I'm screaming and shouting in pain. You know, my ribs just kicking out my chest. My intestines, you know, start coming out of my mouth, my bowels, and I chew on my bowels as I shit myself. I'm so contorted and twisted up that my big toe pokes out one of my eyes. You know, and I'm there then, you know, just before the Tyrannosaurus Rex's tooth pierces my Swede. I look out, blood pissing out of every orifice. I look out of the Tyrannosaurus's mouth with my one open eye. Blood, you know, really horrible. And then I see my friend driving off in the distance. And just before my head gets crushed, I'm there and I'm like, you go live, okay? You go live, my dear friend. Live for me. Go live your life and just tell people what I did. A week later, my friend is in the pub and somebody says, oh, I'm sorry to hear about you, mate, Kev. I heard he got eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And that friend says, fuck him. He was a fucking dickhead. Yeah, cried like a bitch, he did, fucking pussy. Yeah, it was funny as fuck hearing him scream, help me. Yeah, fuck him, asshole. Yeah, that's my experience, metaphorically speaking. Alright, you know, I'm just done with putting up with other people's negativity and passive aggression when I'm just trying to be nice and get on with it. Okay, I'll put all my negative feelings and emotions into these videos, but in the flesh I'm going to do my best to, at the very least, just be pleasant to people. I don't want to join in with all this hard-faced, cold-hearted attitude that seems to be everywhere now. Okay, I'm fully aware life's hard and things can get you down, but being horrible and constantly pissing on people's chips isn't going to do you any fucking favours, okay? Yeah, I'll have to get on with this tomorrow, man. Oh. Right. Don't pretend that you're being eaten by a dinosaur when you're recovering from a stroke. Man, it knocked the stuffing out of me. Anyway, let's get this out there. Bitterness. Yeah, I understand a little bit about bitterness. Okay, fortunately, fortunately for me, I was bitter when I was very young. Okay, I had a few beatings for taking that bitterness out on others. I got brought down a peg or two, and from the age of about 22, 23 up until about 3 years ago, I numbed myself. Okay, and now that I've come out of the other end and can see the error of my ways, but still realise that there's very good reasons why, and that I'm not half as fucking stupid, dishonest, or useless as I've been led to believe. Okay, you know, I'm just gonna kick back, relax, let the chips fall where they may, and enjoy watching all the conceited fuckers get stuck in that existential fucking nightmare I was stuck in for the best part of 45 years. Yeah, I've survived my psychological war, and everything else is just gravy now, as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna enjoy what's left and be the man I've always meant to be, myself, Kevin. I can't be arsed playing anybody's fucking game anymore. You know, I don't want to be like all you miserable fucks in your 50s and your 60s that are continuously pissing and moaning about all the stuff that's out of your control. You know, being bitter about dumb shit like getting older. You know, what are you, fucking special? Everybody gets older, you fucking babies. You're not bitter because you're getting older, okay? The reason you're bitter is because you probably haven't evolved up here in your empty fucking Swede, okay? In your empty head. Now that your fucking looks don't impress anyone anymore, you feel like a cunt. It's not time's fault. It's not nature's fault that you spent the first few decades of your existence being arrogant and looking down your nose at people, judging them solely on the basis of their looks or how big their bank balance is, what car they drive, or how popular they are at the office or the fucking factory, and then dismissing anybody that didn't fit into your criteria of who's worth being seen with, who's worth talking to, and not giving a toss about their feelings or having any consideration for their story. It's all fun and games until it's your turn to take a bite out of that fucking shit sandwich you've unknowingly prepared for yourself. Okay, by being a fucking ignorant, arrogant, selfish bunch of fucking twats. You know? Fucking eat it. Man, I don't want to. It's got my own feces in it, please. I don't want to. I didn't mean to be a horrible cunt and continue to be derogatory towards other people that were not pleasing to my eyes. Oh, God. Please. Please, it's got my own feces in it. Oh, no. I didn't realise I had to develop empathy. I just thought that was something ugly, weak people did. I thought I was allowed to be cruel to others, even, you know, because I thought I'd look better than them, and because I earned more money, I thought I would be exempt. Eat it! You never know, it might help you develop a fucking personality that everybody might actually fucking like. Yeah, age gets them in the end, okay? It's a wonderful leveler for all those entitled cunts that think it's going to last forever and that they're better than everyone else. Giving them a good dollop of the kind of psychological, existential dread all us losers have already become accustomed to. You know, these are the same people that go around looking for reasons to complain about the cashier at the local supermarket just because they're jealous of them for being young and they want to ruin their day. You know, excuse, why are you putting my things through the scanner so quickly? I think your attitude is very aggressive, and I want to work with your manager. You know, see him walking around, looking like they're sucking on a lemon. You know, they're always rolling their eyes up in their head. God, look at the state on them over there. God, why are they smiling for? Look at their clothes. I bet you they buy their clothes from Primark. I wear much better clothes than them. I bet you they're on drugs. Where's my bottle of wine? Bloody foreigners breathing the same air as me. Oh, fucking eat shit, you cunt. You know, if you're going to be bitter, okay, then have a sense of humour about yourself. Instead of taking it out on all and sundry because you're getting old or the people you look down upon for the most shallow of fucking reasons are happier than you. Okay, stop being fucking spiteful. You know, don't get bitter like all the grown-ups. You know, I mean, it's that there's even younger people, okay, people that are younger than me now, that I know that are already talking like how elderly people used to talk when I was a little kid. You know, oh, this country is going down the pan. No, it's not. Okay, it's the same as it's always been, alright? The people up there manipulate us people down here, and while we're at each other's throats, they're having a good time at our expense. Okay? I mean, you know, how long have you actually been alive for anyway? It's not like you grew up in the 40s when, you know, you couldn't even have a quick shower at home and there was nothing on the fucking telly. Well, there was no fucking telly, okay? You know, we haven't got Luftwaffe bombers flying over our heads, you fucking soft sod. You know, it's just, the older you get, the more you realise you're just a fucking tool. Just a cog in a machine, alright? And the harder you work, the more they take off you, and the best you can hope for is a decent burial, which you won't be around to witness, okay? They play Tina Turner's Simply the Best, or Puff Diddy's I'll Be Missing You, or Robbie Williams' fucking Angels at the Service. Everybody you knew will say, oh, well, at least they had a good send-off. Then they get pissed at the pub around the corner, and then you're fucking worm food, okay? After that, I don't know. I don't know. You know, nobody gives a fuck. Just enjoy your life. Try your best to be kind to others and make the most of what you got. Okay? Stop worrying about what everybody else got or fucking haven't got. You know, and most importantly, switch off the fucking news. Because it's meant to scare you and make you feel worried and angry and worthless. All the shit that comes up in the newsfeed on social media, it's a mind fuck. You know, they're banging on about national service now. Oh, well, you know, that's what we need. We need to bring back national service. Even though I've never served myself, and the reason my sons have gone wayward is because I used to knock their mother about and traumatise them, which is what my dad did to me. You know, you've got to teach these youngsters. You know, if they don't listen out, if they don't learn how to take it in the home, then they won't be able to take it out there on the street. Yeah, I caught a clip on YouTube, or it might be on. I don't know. Anyway, there's some politician from the Conservatives or Reform, you know, going on about how there's too many younger people suffering with anxiety. Yeah, and taking antidepressants. You know, what do you expect? What they got to look forward to with ignorant cunts like you deciding what we can or can't do, or how we should be or how we should not be, how we're supposed to think, feel, behave, what we're supposed to believe. Younger people are more switched on now since you were young, alright? They know when they're being fucking plagued. Oh, back in World War II, the young men in the trenches fighting the Germans, you know, yeah, you know, I mean, do you think they were suffering from anxiety? We've got an epidemic of 18 to 25-year-olds suffering from anxiety. How do you think those young men who fought in the Second World War felt when they were storming the beaches? And I'm thinking, oh, what do you know? What do you know? You know, were you there as well? No, you fucking weren't. So stop using their sacrifice as an excuse to put young men down and make them even more fearful and worried when their future is bleak enough, thanks to you lot in the Houses of Parliament. You stuck up, lying, deflecting, robbing, two-faced, follow my leader, corporate, cock-sucking, corrupt fucking cunts. And stop it with all the hard-faced, cold-hearted, a man's got to do what a man's got to do nonsense. Man, I fucking hate all that shit. You know, sucking the joy out of the youth of today while reminding them how lucky they are when they try to stand up for themselves. You know, these young people today, they're pampered and they need to understand that life was never meant to be easy. Back in the 50s, the fathers would have sex with their daughters to teach them the ways of the world, and they were grateful for the education. None of this independent woman bollocks. Women nowadays, they don't know they're fucking born. Man, as a politician, okay, you should not be allowed to use World War II as an example to make people feel bad and fall into line if you're not willing to strap on a helmet, grab a rifle and lead young men into battle yourself, okay? You know, war's all good and noble when it's poor kids fighting and dying them. You know, they don't give a fuck about any of it, okay? As long as they get their luxuries in life, the country could fucking burn as far as they're concerned. They don't love it, okay? And they don't fucking love us either. Man, you know, we need to bring back national service. You know, less and less people are willing to join the armed forces, and the numbers in the British Army are dwindling. Yeah, that's got fuck all to do with the lack of bravery or masculinity or the lack of patriotism in young men, okay? This generation isn't blind. Alright, it's their family members, their fathers and grandfathers who have come back from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan with Gulf War syndrome, PTSD. You just got to walk through the town centre and there's always homeless war veterans begging for change. Man, you know, what the fuck do you expect? That you know, that's how the government treats war veterans that are still here. You know, you ignorant cunts. You know, you don't see any of that on the Join the Army adverts that pop up before the main attraction at the cinema, grooming all the impressionable young people with all that fucking Top Gun style hero bullshit so they can be recruited into doing some rich cunt's dirty work. Man. You know, and if there's a war in the future, okay, if there really is a war coming, I hope all these hard-faced, red-nosed, drunken, overly patriotic bastards in the pub that are always banging on about national service without ever having served in the army themselves, I hope they all get conscripted and fucking sent to it. Oh, I'm 69 years of age, I'm too old. Yeah, not anymore, mate, okay, the rules have changed. We all got to pull together and do our bit, okay? You've got a driving licence, you can drive a Jeep, okay, into the war zone. It doesn't matter if you're a registered alcoholic now either, okay? As a matter of fact, bullets don't hurt as much when you're pissed, okay? So you're fucking going, and that's the end of it. You know, and while we're on the subject of war veterans, why doesn't every city open up their football stadiums, at the very least, to let all the homeless war veterans in, you know, to stay there overnight? I don't understand why that's never even been a thing. Ah, well, you know, the thing is, they might ruin the pitch, you know. So what? It's fucking grass. It grows back. Footballers get paid enough as it is. You know, if you really do give a shit about this country and all those that have been willing to go and fight for it in a real fucking war, not on the terrorists. You know, and you know, you're not just about using their sacrifice to take credit and winning arguments in the pub about fucking politics. Okay, you should be protesting to get those stadium gates open. Sort some sort of mobile soup kitchen, some volunteers, sleeping bags, mental health professionals to give them some advice, or shut your fucking gob about how much you care, you fucking thick cunts. Man. You know, these are the things that make me bitter. You know, it's the people with the same mentality as that Paul of Venels, being put in positions of power and being more concerned about upholding institutions like the post office and believing that means good, decent, hard-working British folk get kicked under the bus and having their lives destroyed is okay. And then having the fucking gall to stand behind a pulpit in a church preaching the word of Jesus and then only feels remorseful when she gets fucking caught, cunt. You know, that's the kind of shit that makes me bitter. It's middle management being too scared to punch up on behalf of the ones below because they're more worried about their bonus, and the ones up there with their blue suits, brown shoes, neatly trimmed beards and golf weekends don't give a fuck about anything beyond targets being reached and the company's reputation. You know, it's the cunts who swan around the workplace, still behaving like the bullies in the schoolyard and making other people's lives a misery. It's the fucking judgmental cunts that dismiss anything they don't understand or look down upon and then expect the whole world to stop when something don't go their way and wonder why nobody gives a fuck. It's, you know, fuck it, what does it matter? Fuck it. I don't even know what I'm saying, okay? Just fuck. Oh, right, I'm sorry about that, folks. I know I'm losing my temper and going overboard. I do enjoy it usually, but it's, yeah, I'll have to wait until I get better. I've had hospital appointments today, and I just want to get this done. So what I thought I would do is read something that I wrote. I think it was on a Facebook status. After the pandemic, when I started to sober up, and yeah, my Facebook's been disabled now because I've been posting adverts for this channel and the language in them, I think. But anyway, I'm going to read this because it helps encapsulate what I was talking about at the beginning of this episode. Okay, and yeah, if anybody is looking for a way to express themselves, all I'm saying is just do it, okay? Do it. Don't listen to all the people, you think you want to be an artist? Yeah, fuck them, okay? Because they probably wish they could do it like you could do it if you do it. Alright. Well, I've got to watch it because the bright light, I'm using my sister's tablet to read it. Right, here we go. Let me just read it and get it done and over with. Top tip: write about whatever it is that's bugging you. Pen to paper, on a laptop, a smartphone, etc. Just put it all into words. You don't have to be a creative genius. I'm probably one of the biggest remedials I know as far as education and academia is concerned. But when I look at something I've written, I feel a small sense of pride, and it makes me feel like I don't want to indulge in all the addictive stuff. I know it sounds all airy-fairy and arty-farty, but it's like puking it out all on a page. It leaves your body and gets rid of that horrible feeling in your guts. Of course, it does come back, but the more you do it, the less painful it is. It's like it's actually becoming easier to deal with in your mind. when you write about it. You don't have to be an intellectual type to be able to read your own writing, and you don't have to share it with anyone. You're not trying to write a best-selling novel, you know, but it might trigger something in you to actually want to give it a try. It doesn't have to be writing either, okay? That's just what's helping me. Putting those feelings and emotions into something you can actually see. It could be a painting, a clay model, a riff on a guitar, something that isn't self-destructive and, you know, usually leads to your world spiraling out of control, okay? Something you can read, you can touch, you can feel, you can hear, a mascot for your feelings. Also, the more honest you are when writing, the funnier it will seem when you're reading it. Don't be politically correct with your own thoughts. Rip the piss, so to speak, and help take the edge off some of the darker, more disturbing stuff. What was once embarrassing and shameful and made you feel bad about yourself is now something that makes you smile and feel a smidge of satisfaction. It's always nice to share that stuff with people too, if you should so wish. You don't have to, though. You can keep it private for your own perusal, but sometimes it's nice to have an audience when you can't get your real feelings out with people in person. Say it with written words on a piece of paper or in a Facebook status instead, and make it funny. Don't hold back on the darkest of details either. It's only words you have written, and you can always burn or delete it. No matter what it is, it can't hurt you any more than it already has done. So make fun of what is disturbing you the most. A warped sense of humour is a gift. It puts you on the outside looking in and helps to make sense of certain things. It's about compartmentalising all the more painful thoughts and memories into something tangible, removing them from the inside of your skull and giving them air to breathe, diluting them somehow, making them easier to accept when they arise once more. You've got to learn to live with them and make them your friend, even though they've always been an enemy. Call it a truce. Thinking about words to write is taking my mind off wanting to get high and falling back into all the bad habits. So whatever it is that's making you feel shitty and encouraging you to turn to drink or drugs or eating too much food, watching porn, or, you know, yeah, I suggest you write about it. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Okay, see you on the next episode. Take care, folks. Have a good week. Okay? Bye.